it's less than 1 point a game, which in quite a lot of the Premier League seasons, that's relegation for him. I've got a fancy league team. I had Mo Salah as captain. I took Salah and put him vice captain and put Haaland captain. And Liverpool playing Burnley and Man City were playing Man United. It's a big concern. Ji-sung Park, so he took us out to a Korean karaoke and they played the song, and the actual singer of the song come in. There was a song called Honey Honey, which he changed to Rooney Rooney.
Very good. This show always talks about all the big footballing stories, so we'll come on to the Manchester derby and Wayne's trip to Korea very shortly. But today, sadly, there is only one place we can start, as on Sunday, the derby paled into insignificance as it was announced ahead of kickoff that the City had lost one of their most famous sons, boxing legend and City fan Ricky Hatton, aged just 46. And Wayne, he was actually someone that you knew personally, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't. It's devastating, heartbreaking, and we played the game over here in Korea, and the minute I walked off the pitch, someone told me that he passed away, and just devastating. Ricky was such a good lad, a good person, and I don't know really what to say on it. It's so sad that someone at such a young age with his whole life still ahead of him, and I think he was due to fight in an exhibition match as well in Saudi Arabia, I think, and to hear that news is just devastating. I've been in Ricky's company many times, and carried his belt into the ring against Castillo in Las Vegas, and I think he's probably someone who captured the nation really in terms of the support he got, who followed him all around the world and in boxing, and so yeah, it's devastating, it's heartbreaking, and I just want to pay my condolences to his family and everyone who's really close to him, because it's way too soon.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. And as you said, he did kind of capture the hearts of the whole nation. You're a United legend. He supported Manchester City. Give us an insight into what he was like as a person, because you said then you did spend time in his company.
Yeah, he's a very lively person and happy person. And remember after the Castillo fight, we went to, I can't remember what hotel it was, we went to a beach party in Las Vegas, and There was me and Ricky's wife at the time, and Matthew, his brother, and his wife, and me and Clean, and had a really good day. He just won, retained his world title, and had a great day. And again, another day on Valentine's Day, we spent time together, and I think he's just one everyone loved. He's someone everyone can relate to. I think so often nowadays you see people in any line of, well, any type of celebrity really, and you see a lot of them who are not really relatable, and Ricky was certainly relatable and very good fun to be around, and of course I think we all know he has had issues throughout his life, which a lot of us have, but to come in after the game today and hear that news was just devastating, and it still hasn't really sunk in with me. I think because how lovable he was, and we see boxing now, and we see how much it's grown with the new businesses coming into it. But Ricky was the one who no matter where the fight was, and a lot of the time was in Vegas or Manchester, and the support he got and people spending the money to go and watch him because he was so relatable, and he felt like he was one of theirs, even though he was from Manchester. You had a lot of people from Liverpool, from London, wherever it was, to come to follow him because he made them proud to be English, and it's just devastating.
I've also got to ask you, just what was it like for you carrying his belts into the ring? I imagine it feels like an even more special experience now.
Yeah, it's one of I posted something after the game on it, and I look back at the picture and how young we both look, and it's one of the most nervous I think I've been.
Wow.
Because well, firstly, he wasn't, obviously, he was preparing for the fight, but I was in the pool all day in Vegas and it was hot and my face got a bit burnt. But I remember standing in his dressing room and just being nervous because he'd never lost it at that time, and just thinking, I hope he doesn't lose tonight, and because like is it on you? Is it part of your fault? But yeah, no, it's just a lovely person, and I think he was in a new relationship as well. So it's just so sad to hear the news, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I don't think it's really fully kicked in, to be honest. And I'm sure over the next few days, from everyone across the country, we'll see a lot of messages, and I think people will understand what a really true gentleman and a good person he was.
Yeah, beautiful tribute, Wayne. Rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Okay, well, we did promise that we would dissect the Manchester derbies, okay?
Do we have to? Can we not just talk about something else? It's been a really eventful week. Wayne's had a great time in Korea. Can we not just talk about that? Do we have to talk about
We can come on to Korea, but I think we have to address the Manchester derby. You can go first. I know you're both itching to talk about it.
I'm happy to leave Kay with this one.
This could be quite a short podcast, couldn't it, at this rate?
Do you know what? I think the same things that Wayne was mentioning game week 2 or game week 1, whatever, it's just the same. We're seeing the same things. Gaps in midfield. We're just being diced apart. There doesn't seem to be any improvement. No new ideas. Forwards like Shesko aren't getting any service, and it's just the same old story. It doesn't feel like anything's changed since last season. And we had that brief bit of optimism we had after the Arsenal game has all dissipated. I can't see where it goes from here. That looks positive. We've got one game a week, and I, at this point, I'm like, there was this news about midweek friendlies being played in Dubai and Saudi Arabia just to bring in a bit of cash, and I'm just like, yeah, might as well do those because at least we might see the team win. But yeah, morale's totally gone, I think, with myself. I don't know how you feel, Wayne.
Well, we've just watched it. Quite a lot of the lads who we played the game with today, and I don't think anyone can really understand and comprehend what is going on. It's you just said there the optimism after the Arsenal game, which ultimately we lost.
Yeah.
And then to how low it felt after Grimsby, and obviously you get the win against Burnley, and which Man United at home to Burnley should be winning anyway, and then watching the derby today, the one thing you can lose against Manchester City, a good team, so at the Etihad you can lose that game, but I'm watching it, I didn't see a tackle, I didn't see, some, even, when it goes to 2-0, 3-0, I didn't see anyone saying, you know what, I'm not having this, and taking a yellow card or putting a tackle in, and that passion and desire, and it's continuing to at this minute, and listen, I want to be as supportive and as positive as it can be on the manager, on the players, but it's very difficult to sit here and say, we're seeing a progression, we're seeing how at least we're seeing things which will get results in the near future, but just not seeing none of that, and it's very difficult. And for the fan, there was an image towards the end of the game where I seen the Man United fans leaving. I've never seen that. Well, in my time, I've never seen Man United fans leaving, and you could hear the fans singing Amaran's name. But I think that is so powerful that the Man United fans were leaving the game because they knew the game was over, and I think they were very disappointed in what they're seeing. So it's hard to see how it continues.
Wayne, you mentioned there you were watching it with the lads. Just explain exactly who you were watching it with and their thoughts, because I think everyone listening to this will be quite intrigued, because there was a few United legends with you, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, well, there was me, Rio, Vidic, Michael Carrick, and then Macon, Robert Perez, Gilberto Silva, and Bastian Schweinsteiger, Ashley Cole, and we're all watching it, and I asked the question. We all struggle to give how we see Man United play, and if we actually sit down and watch Man United for a 6-game period, what the patterns, what we see in which might improve the team moving forward, and everyone has struggled. And listen, we've all played the game at the highest level, all the players who I've just mentioned, and it's very difficult to see that. So, and me more than anyone, I want to see the club doing well, but it's very difficult to. I think we have to be honest, and the difficulty we have, and I was speaking with Rio yesterday on this, is we want to support the team, we want to support the manager as best we can, but we also have to be honest as well, because the fans are not fools, and we have to give our honest opinion on what we're seeing, and that does put us in uncomfortable positions at times. And Rio was out with the team in Chicago pre-season. Obviously, I go into training ground quite a lot with my children, and it does put us in an uncomfortable position, but we have to be honest in what we're seeing, and frankly, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, what you said about the patterns of play was I think really important. I think City haven't been off to a flyer recently, and even today you saw certain gaps in their midfield and stuff. But the difference is that they could fall back on certain patterns of play that they know how to do, whereas, like you said, with this team, it doesn't seem that they even have that. Like they don't know.
City weren't great at all today. I thought I think it's one of the worst Manchester derbies I've seen for a long time, and Man City played their part in that as well, but still come out and win the game 3-0. So I think City is still trying to find their feet. Obviously, they've got a few new players and a couple of new coaches in there as well, and playing in maybe a little bit of a different style. Man United, I think, it come up towards the end, 64% possession, in which over the last few years that would have been, you would have said that's no chance against Man City at the Etihad. So City have found a different way, but what's important when you're trying to implement a new style is you win games as well while you're doing that, and unfortunately for Man United and I think for the manager, it's been just not too far off a year now, and I think it's less than 1 point a game.
Yeah, well, we were 3 points off of top 4 when he took over.
Yeah, so I think it's less than 1 point a game, which in quite a lot of the Premier League seasons, that's relegation for him.
Yeah.
Which it's over nearly a year period. It's hard. It's very difficult at the minute. You know, Kay, as a Man United fan, it's tough to watch and to see. So I will try and defend it to a certain point, but I'm struggling to find the words to do that at the minute.
This is the flattest I've ever sensed you two being after a game. I was kind of desperately hoping to see some green shoots from Manchester United so we could pick up on them. But is that what's frustrating you most, Kay, that Ruben Amorim is welded to how he wants this United side to play and nothing's changing?
Yeah, I think a lot of the fan base aren't optimistic anymore because, like you said, it's just the lack of improvement and seeing the same things over and over again. I think that's the most annoying part of it. And especially when you're seeing players like Šeško, you know, you're meant to play to his strengths. There's not a cross going in that reaches him. He's not getting any sort of service.
But he did put a lot of crosses in the box. To be fair,
none to him.
Well, that's the one positive I will find is he did put a lot of crosses in the box. He did put a lot of crosses in the, and he did get in some really good areas.
What did you make of Šeško though?
I didn't really have many opportunities and looked a little bit off it. In fairness, fitness-wise, but I thought Man United got in some really good areas at times. But again, that's what I was saying where I talk about the pattern to play. When you get into good areas, then you look for things. Right, what have you been worked on? If you get in this area, you come back out to. Is it a short set where you can cross first time? You come back out to go back to the other side. You come back out to find a slip ball in behind, and it looked like the crosses were just getting put in there for the sake of it. And then what I will say for any centre forward or Sesko is when that's happening, it's very difficult to time your run and to try and get on the end thing. So, but that was the one positive. Man United did get into really good areas, actually.
I'm sorry to keep focusing on the negatives, but I wanted to ask you about the midfield, because you've identified that before. Okay, I can tell you're ready to go on this, aren't you?
No, I was just thinking what midfield, but yeah, continue.
Well, I was just going to ask you about the midfield. Maybe you've answered my question by saying that. Is that a big part of United's problem?
100%. Matches are won and lost in midfield. Wayne would tell you that.
Wayne will tell us that the strikers win and lose you matches. Yeah.
Well, I played midfield today, and that's where the game is won and lost. So.
But yeah, like Bruno Fernandes isn't a central midfielder. He works better as a 10. And I thought, given that, Cunha wasn't there today, we'd probably see him further up, and it'd be a chance for Kobbie Mainoo to sort of prove himself to the manager. But that never materialised, and you saw we had the same issues that we've had all season when Ugarte and Bruno have played in that role.
I'll just flip back if you just bear with me. We played in the game today, and it was me and Clarence Seedorf in midfield. It was an very attacking team against a very defensive team. So they play with no centre forward. So what happened is they flooded the midfield, and they had like 5 or 6 players. So for me and Clarence, it was very difficult. But then your experience comes in. You're like, okay, we'll put ourselves in the right position. I think the problem with this system is having 2 midfield who, if one is Bruno. Bruno's a fantastic player and scored so many great goals and been Man United's best player for the last couple of seasons. But you do want to see him a bit further forward. Ugarte coming today hasn't played much this season, and Casemiro is getting towards the later end of his career. If you're struggling, you have to put 3 in midfield.
Yep. And
you have to put 3 in midfield and give yourself a chance to compete in there. And then if that means you lose your wild players, but then you can put 2 up front. So you can go 5-3-2. Whatever, because Man United's problem, I think, well, since Ruben's come in and played the system, is having 2 midfield in the Premier League. The players have not got the energy in the legs to cover the full width of the pitch and go up and down, and they're getting overrun and overpowered in that midfield. And I think the more, well, if he continues to play 2 midfield, listen, I've my time as a manager, and I know how it works, and I know how it is when someone else looks and critiques your formation, whatever. I completely understand that, but I think it's so obvious. If you said to me, I was sat today actually after the game. I had for about 45 minutes with Makelele, and we're talking about playing midfield. Unless you've got 2 generals in midfield who are going to control, they're going to talk, they're going to organise in there, you have to put 3 in there. And unfortunately, I don't think Man United have got 2 players who can do that.
Quite tellingly, I think it was very similar to what Bruno Fernandes said in his post-match comments, Kay. So the players are clearly feeling it and know what's wrong at the moment.
Yeah, everyone does. And I think he's become a bit predictable, not only in his system and his refusal to adapt, but even in the substitutions he makes. Like, every game he's going to substitute, if not 1, maybe 2 of the defenders.
He brought Maguire on a bit earlier, though. I was hoping he went up front when he come on, but unfortunately he didn't.
But that's that. There you go. Like even you're saying, like he brought Maguire on again. Like you know it's going to happen in a game like that.
Well, Harry should be starting. I seen Jimmy Floyd-Hasbank talking about it and saying how much England missed Harry Maguire at the Euros because he's a leader. And I'm sitting there and thinking, how is he not playing with the 3 defenders who were playing? He should be in there, and there's a lack of leadership. It's clear to. Do you know what? And Bueno, I thought was the best player. He kept going. He kept trying, and he was the one. I felt sorry for him at the end. He was the one who kept, he had a few shots and missed the target, no problem. But in fairness to him, he was the one who I thought, a fair play to you because he kept going. I think a few of the lads, like Kobbie Mainoo, he didn't get a move away. I've seen, apparently he asked for a loan move. which that's concerning. If an 18-year-old lad from Manchester is asking to leave the club, that's very concerning. But he come on the pitch and he's jogging around. He's jogging around, and we know what potential he's got. And he might be a bit annoyed and frustrated, but you come on at the Etihad against Man City, you want to see more. And if you want to get in the team, you want to see more. So I think there's a clear lack of leadership in there, and when that is the case, whatever leaders you've got in there, you have to put them on the pitch.
Let's try and throw this forward then. I don't know if you're going to be happy with me or not for saying the next 7 games. Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Sunderland at home. Then you've got Liverpool away, Brighton, Forest, Spurs. I was going to ask you how many will they win, but that feels a bit cruel to ask you that at this point. In fact, let's not even look at the next 7 games. It feels like we've got to take it a game at a time at the moment. Chelsea at home isn't an easy game next, Kay. How does he change this? What do you want to see? As you said, they haven't got European football. There should be a benefit to that. They've got the whole week training to, I don't know, make this system better, make it work for them.
I mean,
you're out of answers, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I just think I go back to what Wayne's saying was you got to put 3 in midfield. If you just got to change the formation. I want to see
Will he do it though?
4-3-3 or something. He's not going to do it. And we're going to go in and Garnacho is probably going to score against us and celebrate. And the articles on the back pages will be Garnacho shows his old club what's what, and that's what's going to happen. I can't see anything happening in that game that's going to change. The only dramatic change that needs to happen, looks like it will happen, it's just going to be a long drawn out process before it does, is Amorim going.
Do you think so, Wayne? How does this play out?
I think Man United are capable of beating any team. I really do, on the day. But there's just a complete lack of consistency and a lack of, as I said before, leadership, and you just don't know. I have no idea going into every Man United game, whether it's Chelsea next game, whether it's Forest or Liverpool, or the game. Yeah,
almost
Burnley.
Felt irrelevant me listing those, to be honest.
I have no idea what is going to happen. I think we're fed up of listening to excuses and from we go again and whatever. I think there's a big problem there. And I think the club have done the right thing in terms of the players they've got rid of, and of course, and listen, I hope it works massively for the manager. From everything I've heard, he's a good person, a good fella, and but we need to start seeing that. Football is a game, and the Man United fans are as loyal as you're ever going to get. As I said before, they're singing his name. And what you don't want to see is that 10. I don't think you want to see the United fans 10 because they don't do that. But I think it's, after the last year when Ten Hag got sacked and Amorim comes in, we're hearing how they're going to play and how it's going to change and entertain. And I think if the manager is honest with himself, it's got worse. Yep. Quite a lot. So, yeah, I think hopefully they win the Chelsea game and just hope. And
we do have to focus on the Manchester City side of things. I think this is probably just rubbing salt in the wounds, guys. Sorry, but we do have to talk about it. Roy Keane said on TV that it was like City looked like they'd had a reset, that the international break probably came at a good time for them, that there was a different feel to them today. Did you feel that, Wayne?
Yeah, I did, but I also thought they were sloppy. I thought, especially the first period of the game, I thought both teams were a bit nervous. There was a lot of balls getting a bit like a pinball machine at times and a lot of misplaced passes. But then I think once they got the goal, you could see the confidence. I think the keeper made a big difference. Even just, I know we made a good save from Mbeno, but then just little things which maybe, why he brought him in. Edison maybe might not only come through people. He punched a few out. I think his detailed pass weren't great. To the wrong foot, but Man United's press weren't great on that as well. But I think Haaland back scoring obviously for Norway, obviously getting his 2 goals. I think from City's point of view, it's a massive win because I think whoever lost this game is going to get criticised a lot.
I think City weren't at their best at all today, and I think the state Man United are in at the moment, we make teams look better than they are on the day.
Well, I think, you know, I've got a fancy league team. I'll be honest with you. I had Mo Salah as captain.
So did I, Wayne. There's a bigger headline that Wayne Rooney had him as captain, admittedly.
No, but before this round of games, I took Salah and put him vice captain and put Haaland captain. And Liverpool were playing Burnley and Man City were playing Man United.
That says all we need to know, really, doesn't it?
And I was thinking about it before, and I was thinking even that is a big concern.
I don't even know where to pick up from that, because that is a headline that United legend was between a Liverpool player and a City player for their captain. But it maybe does say
It's a win-win situation, because if they don't do well, then obviously I'm happy.
Yeah. So you're not that optimistic about City today. You're saying United maybe made them look a little bit better than they are, but have you seen enough from them, Wayne, to think they're going to challenge for the title?
Yeah, no,
again?
I think they're changing the style. I think Pep's done this quite a few times, and a little bit more direct and a bit more balls in behind. They're not playing around the opposition's box quite as much as they used to. They don't have the control of games this season. I don't think they've done that, apart from the Wolves game, quite as much as they used to. So, again, it's what I was saying about Man United before. With City, it takes time to adjust to a new style. You don't know whether that's from the new coaches who had a little bit of input on that as well. But what they've done today and is what they've done 2 or 3 times this season is when they're adjusting the winning games. And that's the most important thing, because what that does, that gives you buy-in from the players. The players believe in what you tell them to do. Of course, they will with Pep Guardiola anyway, because of his high level of coaching. But when you win games, it even further makes you believe even more. So, but yeah, I think City they're not what they was over the last 2, 3, 4 years. But with Guardiola, you just don't know what is going to happen, and you wouldn't surprise you if they went on a 15-game unbeaten run.
But Wayne, doesn't that just show you what a good manager is all about? Adaptability, evolving your style, changing it depending on what players you have, or looking at the challenges that you're faced with. And like, if everybody starts to play like you have to change what you're doing. Don't you think what City are going through proves that?
And then I think we've all been sat here thinking, why is Phil Foden not playing this season? Like, as he had the injury, as Pep been, trying to get more out of him, to try and get him back on track, because he's probably questioned a little bit in the media as well at times, and then straight away, bang, straight into Manchester Derby, and I thought he was brilliant today. Foden, so that's management. He's managing. He's if you get questioned as a player, then you want to go and prove yourself again, and so you don't know if that's the case, or he has had the injury and he's just come back into it, but he's sat on the bench a few games this season, and whether Pep's thought, I can afford to do that the first few games of the season, because I need Phil Foden at his best, and I'm going to try and get into his head to make sure he is at his best when I bring him in the team.
Well, even like the decisions as well were like, both teams have bought a keeper during the window, and one's gone, yeah, let's stick him in, and then the other one's gone, actually, no, let's just keep him on a bench, even though we've got a keeper that is below standards.
Yeah, well, I think that was a worry as well. You don't know whether that was a panic buy. I don't know, if I'm being honest, I don't know that much about the new keeper. I don't think many of us have seen that much of him. I'll do some research and have a look, but if you're buying a new keeper and he's not ready to come in, there's a bit of a concern, where straight away Donnarumma comes in, comfortable, clean sheet. So that's the big difference, and that was me point. I think it was after the first game of the season. Yeah, it was like, Man United should go and get Donnarumma, and whether financially they could, or he wanted to come, didn't want to come, you don't know. But in the end, we've ended up with another project and we've signed the keeper on potential. Is always a risk.
Okay, well, let's move on, because Wayne, you've mentioned it a few times. You are in Korea. You played in midfield, which is a headline in itself, I think. But how's your trip been, and how was the game?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had some funny days. What day are we on now?
It's Sunday night. I think you're in the early. Oh, hold on, what time is it? So
Yeah, so I'm Monday morning. I'm like 3:30 Monday morning now. But
commitment.
so yesterday before the game, Ji-sung Park played for us, and so he took us out in the morning to a Korean karaoke. So there was me, Carrick, Schweinsteiger, Vidic, and Ji-sung Park. We sat in this little room, and they played the song, and the actual singer of the song come in and was singing it to us, and it was so awkward. like what were you meant to do? And then the second one, put the second song on, the singer of that one come on, and he was very extravagant, and there was a song called Honey Honey, which he changed to Rooney Rooney.
Very good.
So yeah, it was very awkward. And then the day before, Ji-sung Park again took us out for some Korean food for lunch, and to all try some Korean school uniform on, which was quite strange.
I had so many questions about those photos because people have seen them doing the rounds on social media. Kay, I imagine you've seen them as well.
Yeah, I saw one where you had your hand up in the air like that, and you were looking to the sky.
It was so awkward and cringy. And do you know what? I think just for Ji-sung Park, we all done it. We love them that much. We all said, okay, we'll just do it, and we all knew how cringy and how bad it looked.
Why school uniform?
Why was Rio tiptoeing?
Yeah, sorry, we've got so many questions. We're firing them at you.
I don't know. Well, I didn't put the trousers on. I said I'll put the shirt and the jacket and the tie on.
You didn't tuck your shirt in, I noticed, after talking about shirts last week.
Because I went for the naughty schoolboy look.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So I went for that look. But no, but it's been great. I've been here a few times, but it was nice actually for G as well to take us out and show us around. And we went to one of the, I don't know what it was called, but one of the famous towers here. And there's like like you have in Paris where you have the lock where you write a message and make a wish.
Yeah.
It was like one of them, and so me and Schweinsteiger done a message each on either side of the lock. So mine was, Basti, can you please take me to Oktoberfest?
What was his?
I don't know. Oh no, he said yes I will, and he said that, but you have to wear the outfit which they wear over there. I don't know what's called, the German outfit.
Lederhosen.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, Lederhosen.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know. We're going to try and organise it.
I'll fly to Munich myself just to see that in person.
I think a lot of United fans will.
It's been good. The fans are crazy. We arrive here and there's thousands of fans at the airport, and tonight at the game, I think there was 68,000 fans. There was 40,000 fans at the training session last night. So yeah, it's and to be on the pitch with, I've already mentioned a lot of them, but with the talent to be on the pitch, and Arsene Wenger managed our team, and Benítez managed the other team, and it's been like a bit surreal, to be honest.
And you scored, well, it was like rolling back the years, wasn't it? You scored a pretty good goal.
Yeah, I did. So yeah, it was a good goal. I think it's Casillas should have saved it, to be honest.
It was a screamer.
Honestly, I don't know if you've seen him. He made an unbelievable save from Kaká just before that. Him to his left, and then obviously I've scored to his right. So I said to him after the game, I said, so I found his weak side. So he can't dive to his right, I said to him. But no, it was great, and everyone really enjoyed it. So,
who do you like hang around with on those trips? Because, like as Kay said, there's so many legends there.
Well, it was actually funny because Henri made the comment. So me and Bastian have been. Well, Bastian won't leave me alone. He keeps just following me everywhere. so the comment was I've seen Prison Break.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like teabagging his guy with him next to him. So, but Basti's brilliant. He's so much fun, and he's come out with his dad. His dad's a good character as well, and so yeah, it's been and everyone really. It's mad because you sit down, like this morning. I sat down and I had an hour with Rafa Benítez at breakfast, which you never would think.
What did you talk about?
Yeah,
just talk about his time at Liverpool and then his time when he went to Everton and management and stuff. And so it's when you're there, it's weird. You end up sat with random people, and Ronaldinho turns up just cool in his glasses, his hat, and just chilled and whatever. So it's mad that you just end up sat at the table with someone and you just talk.
I also, there looks like there's a bit of a bromance with Schweinsteiger going on. We need to get him on the show, I think. Do you agree, Kay?
Yeah,
He's honestly, well, when he signed, I've said this to him loads of times. He'll come on. I've said to him loads of times. Said when he signed for Man United, I thought we're signing this really efficient German who's going to come in and he's really organised and that. And he comes in, and he's like the biggest joker, prankster I've seen him. And then with Bastian, even when he was at United, me and him ended up on FaceTime to Thomas Muller. We were on FaceTime this morning to Thomas Muller, who's out in Vancouver at the minute.
Wow.
And I'm like, I think I've been kidded all these years that these Germans are very efficient. They're just big pranksters. So, but not great for even Bastian's dad, I think he said he was 72. But all great fun. So yeah, Bastian's a great lad, and yeah, he'll come on, sure.
Does it almost feel like a pre-season tour, but just without all the pressure?
No, it's pre-season. You're there to train and you're focused. And here you can relax a little bit more. Like we watched the United game, then we all sat there with a glass of wine. That's all. Obviously, you wouldn't be doing that on pre-season, but yeah, so it's a little bit more chilled.
Kay, I bet you'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Take you back to the good old days of supporting United.
Mate, I don't know what I'd have been doing in there. Like just all
wouldn't
those
have been allowed
United legends. Yeah, exactly. I probably wouldn't. To be fair, I'd have probably been quiet and just sat in a corner and just watched. Yeah. Which sounds a bit weird, to be fair, but anyway, I think we could leave on that note.
That is the perfect ending. I'm glad we've hopefully made a few United fans who are listening to this smile after dissecting the Manchester derby, rolling back the years there, Wayne Rooney and his former teammates. Kay, have a good week. More touring?
Yeah, I'll be in Chorley, Nottingham, and Leicester this week. So yeah, it should be fun.
Both of you clocking up the miles.
I know. I've not had much sleep either, to be fair, but yeah.
I was going to say that. You looks like that as well.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Okay, that really is where we'll leave it. We'll be back again on Friday. A reminder, you can watch the Wayne Rooney Show on the BBC Sport YouTube and iPlayer, and you can also listen on BBC Sounds.